Hey guys, good morning. It is March 20th, the morning of. If you've been paying attention, which hopefully you have, in California we are now in a shelter-in-place order as of last night. So I have essentially already been in shelter-in-place, my family and I, and those in my household. For the last week, roughly, only venturing out to get food and go to the hospital, not for coronavirus, but look, I've been meaning to get out a video a day since my last video, and it's just been so busy, and things have been changing so fast. I apologize for not doing that, but anyway, I want to get this out. I want to make these videos less than 10 minutes so that they're bite-sized, they don't go on too long. Basically, I'm researching all the time. I'm collecting a lot of information, and my intent here is to distill this information down, get it into bite-sized pieces, and put something out every day on different aspects of what's going on right now. I've been prepared for something like this, or been preparing for something like this for years, ever since of 2011, actually, when we had a regional-wide power outage for almost 24 hours. That's really the impetus for me to not like doomsday prepping, but doing some basic preps that I felt were a prudent thing to do. So I feel like that our household is in pretty good shape for what's coming. But I thought that I was probably an exception. I think there's probably a lot of people that aren't prepared or hadn't been prepared. Anyhow, I wanted to go through some of the basics that we should be thinking about right now. Physical, financial, social, spiritual, these different categories. Physically, obvious stuff, right? If you haven't got food stores by now for a month, you got a lot of waiting ahead of you. You've got a lot of standing in lines, picking over leftovers, things like that. So, but you need to do it. You need to go out and do it right now. And that is part of the shelter in place, is that you are allowed to go out, to get food. So do it if you haven't already. If you have, stay away. Let others, have their chance. Number two, I believe curfews are coming, and that's one of the reasons why you need to get your food. Possibly martial law, and I don't say that in trying to be sensational. I do really think that is a possibility, and even if it's not going to happen, we should prepare as if it's going to happen, and make sure that you have as many of these things in place as you can. If you have a face mask, you should be wearing it. I don't care what people say. It does lower the viral load, and your chances are you're going to get this virus anyway, but if and when you do get it, you don't want a large viral load. You want a tiny dose of it, so your body has a chance to develop antibodies for it. So do wear a face mask, even if you feel goofy doing it. I was out yesterday with my wife, and she was wearing a face mask, and you know what? She was the only one, which is so bizarre to me. I think there should be more people wearing masks if you have it. If you don't have a mask, wear a scarf. Just put a scarf over your face. It's something. I mean, it's not very effective, but at least it has some level of efficacy in keeping the viral count down. Also wear disposable gloves if you have them, the latex-free gloves, and then throw them out before getting back in the car. Don't buy garbage food. Do not buy junk food. Do not buy sugar and carb-loaded stuff. These are inflammatory. They have low food value, and they do not help your immune system. Buy non-perishables if you can, because this may be a while. If you are buying perishables, make sure you have a way of preserving those. Get antivirals, vitamin C, vitamin D, oregano oil. I have the list here. Matter of fact, I'm going to post this list down below. So, yeah, we'll post this down below. So I don't want this video to go too long. But make teas out of these things and take them regularly. Don't wait till you get sick before you take these things. The idea is to boost your immunity now, make it strong now. Get good sleep. 8 hours is great if you can do it. Take a natural sleep aid like valerian root or chamomile tea. There's quite a few others, but those are just the first two to come to mind. Valerian root doesn't really work for me for some reason, but it supposedly helps others. And then golden tea. I'm sorry, golden milk. There's a recipe for that. There's a bunch of recipes for that. That actually is really good, and it helps me sleep. Exercise. Get exercise daily. Go for a walk. There's no restriction on that. Go for a run. Do some calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, and all that kind of thing. Do it every day. It's good for your psyche as well. Security. I seriously hope that you have some form of self-defense for you and your family. People will do some pretty crazy things in a panic. And you need to be able to defend yourself and your family. If you're anti-gun, you may want to reconsider that. What may happen here may change your views on that. I know that some people that are anti-gun, I've heard stories of them saying, well, maybe it's not a bad idea to have a handgun. And then they go to the gun shop and they see lines out the door, and that's the way it is at the moment. Anyway, I do suggest that you at least consider that. So let's see, other things. Financial. Get some cash. I think that's really, right now cash is king, but I don't think it'll be for long. But for the next month at least it is, and you should have some to pay bills, to buy groceries, just to have it. At some point, you'll probably want to get rid of your cash, though. And on the other end of the spectrum is you're going to want to get gold and silver. It's not too late for this, although there's a huge run on the physical gold and silver, and there's this really odd situation right now where gold and silver are the spot price and the actual physical price. There's a disconnect between the two. If you want to get any of it physically, there are premiums, but on the paper market, it's way down. So it's really bizarre, and it's a whole nother video. I'll go into that later, and I'll go into more of this buying of gold and silver. But I do suggest that you get an order in. It'll take a couple months for you to get, but I think you'll be happy if you do get it. And there's some guidelines right there, which we'll go over in another video. Do keep your eyes open and your powder dry. Some liquid assets, because if you're still interested in the investments after all this is said and done, there will be deals of a lifetime. Socially, on a social level, keep your family calm. Don't sugarcoat this. Especially young people, depending on how young. I know the young adults in my household had a hard time understanding the gravity of the situation. I think they understand it now, and I'm working on that. But this is a historic period. There are hardships that are coming. They're already here. But the good news is we will emerge better for it, as humans always do. Use this time to improve relationships of those you're locked down with. Work with them, play with them, read together, pray together. This is actually could be a very, very good time relationally for you and your family. And your neighbors, by the way. Help your neighbor. This is a time for true community and giving without expecting something in return. Working with your neighbors. There's no better currency than goodwill, and demonstration of that goodwill is to give without expecting anything in return. Also, consider a barter system. You can share resources through barter. I'm already beginning to engage in that myself with people that, hey, we need some rice. Do you need any eggs? That kind of thing. Spiritually, if you don't already do this, I suggest you start reading your Bible every morning and praying. There has never been a better time to seek God and do some inner work. This is Very, very good time to do that. I mean, any time's a good time, right? But this is a very, very important time in your life. It is a good time to read. Dig into your library. If you don't have one, order a book. I think Amazon still delivers. And fill your mind with edifying thoughts and ideas. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm going to post this down below, so you can print it out, I guess, if you want. But or maybe I don't know. I guess I'll just post it down below. But thank you, guys. Stay safe. Be well, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.